Once in a hour, do some archbishop. Been a school them from when me in a car shot. Liverpool couldn't test the way me raw sit up quick draw. Him drop and can't get up, him not fast enough for my problem that you never solve. Send for the Dan race for a firestorm, cause I turn into a monster. Ready for the war, better with your black. None of them boy, they no bad. None of them boy, they no bad. Bad ones in power to some archbishop. Them no bad. School them from me in a carkish. Them no bad. Fool couldn't test the with me raw sit up drop. If I can't beat up, it's no fast enough for my Bible that you never saw. Send for the grand race for your fire song, cause I tell you one monster. Ready for the war. Better with your none of them boy, they no bad. Left a mark, young gog on a regular. We say them hardly ready. Them a new type of artillery. We a bust and a Tom and Jerry. Out the blue I hit you with an airstrike. Them not bad like my air nights. It's a rare sight, yeah. Steady aim with precision. Make the vision with a clear sight. Better go get your affair sight. Them boy, they no bad. None of them boy, they no bad. Road back, live with my bar. If we mark, them no bad. On the regular, we see them hard, they no bad. It's me a new type of artillery. We a bust and a Tom and Jerry. Out the blue, you back, the strike, they no bad. It's me every night, I'm fighting for your side. The aim, they no bad. And it's the vision, we got clear sight. Better get your fit, them boy, they no bad.
Welcome back to the Indy Boys Racing Podcast. How are we doing today, everybody, on this beautiful 3.14? That's right, everybody. It's Pi Day. And I know what you're wondering. Where's Daniel? Daniel's eating pie on this Pi Day.
He's eating pie on this
He's eating pie. Nah, Daniel Cheney's not going to be here today. He's on vacation. So we're going to just have a me and Jay show. Jay, I don't think it's just been us two on an episode
for a while. Yeah, for a while.
It's been a while. We've been used to having all three of us on the show.
Oh, yeah.
But no Daniel today. But it's all good. We have plenty to talk about. First thing that we'll just replace. We'll get the camera gone, and now you can just see our beautiful IB logo. That's right. Don't follow him. He doesn't exist. It's just us here today.
Us two today.
It's just Jay and Tristan. It's just Monica. You ever play that game?
Just
Do you
Monica?
ever play? So
Maybe.
I think it was called Doki Doki Literature Club, and it was super weird. And that was like its whole vibe. It's like it's just Monica. It was a weird game theory. You ever watch Game Theory?
No.
Like, yeah.
I
don't know. I'm going on so many different tangents today, but I'm trying to make sure I'm in the center of my camera. But yeah, we're doing good, guys. Very eventful weekend of racing. We were at the illustrious Phoenix Raceway, or as some people like to say, ISM. Remember when it was called ISM for like a day? I remember that.
For like 3 days.
But yeah, pretty solid weekend of racing, guys. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk all about Hendrick Motorsports and their incredible start to the season for two drivers in particular, those being William Byron and Alex Bowman. We're going to talk about Kevin Harvick's streak and if he has a chance to bring home a championship in his final season. We're going to talk about Denny Hamlin versus Ross Chastain and that whole situation coming to the checkered flag. And finally, we are also going to talk about Jeddah and Atlanta. It's going to be an exciting weekend. But firstly, I have to introduce my incredible, amazing co-host, the man behind the curtain, the man that runs the episode and clicks the keyboard, Justin Cox. How are you doing, brother?
I'm all right. It's Pie Day. I got a fresh cut, fresh fade up. But yeah, I don't know. I'm all right. Just hanging in there,
You doing anything special to celebrate Pie Day?
Well, I didn't know just until before the episode that Blaze Pizza had $3.14 pieces, or I would have went there. But
yeah,
you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, I guess, right? So, but no, yeah, for real. I'm kind of disappointed now because I didn't get a pizza, but it's okay. I'm
gonna hit Blaze up after the episode. I'm gonna go for a quick little drive.
You live closer than I do.
I do live close to a Blaze Pizza.
Yeah.
No, but I've been celebrating my Pie Day. Celebrating the Austin Dillons and the Chase Briscoes of the world. Celebrating the Santino Ferrucci's and the Scott McLaughlins of this world. The Fernando Alonso's and the Daniel Ricciardos of this world. There we go. I had to think about who number 3 was. There we go. Oh, I guess you could say. Here we go. I'm trying to think of a number. I don't know anymore. But yeah, guys, we're gonna talk all about this week's full weekend. Jay, you want to quiz me on how many digits of pi I know?
Yeah. How many digits of pi do you know, Tristan?
Yes, it is. Excuse me. 3.14, That's as many digits as it's showing me. But I could have gotten to the 3.14, I could have gotten that.
Oh, you could have got the 4 there. Okay.
I did it.
He said I did.
All right. Let's go ahead and transition. We got a lot of motorsports media to talk about.
Going to NASCAR, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, bet.
All right, ladies and gents. So, first thing we're going to talk about is the NASCAR. Let's go NASCAR Truck Series to start off. First thing we have is Ed Jones, former IndyCar rookie. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll start with Tyler Carpenter. My bad. Tyler Carpenter is going to run Bristol Dirt with Nice Motorsports. So he's returned. That man is back. He is going to be there all the time.
He's going to be there all the time.
He's going to be there. Exciting for Tyler Carpenter to finally be back in the seat. So kind of an underrated guy, but a great dirt track racer. And I think he could definitely be someone to look forward to on the circuit.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Next thing. Here we got Willie B. Willie B is going to run the number 51 for Kyle Busch Motorsports. In 3 races, he's returning to KBM. The man where he got his start. No one had heard of William Byron. And then he went and won how many races? 7 races with KBM in that season.
Yeah,
he didn't win the championship.
He went crazy, yeah.
I'm just excited to see if he can get a W, but it looks like he's running the races that he just wants to run in a truck. Like Bristol Dirt in a truck, I've heard that's fun. Yeah. Darlington in a truck is always fun. But the man, I feel like the guy just wants to race in North Wilkesboro.
More than once at least.
Yeah, more than once in an actual points-paying race.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. Mm-hmm. But it also proves to me that RCR does not care about KBM at all, and it's just Chevy. Because they just wanted Kyle Busch, because we have seen no RCR-affiliated drivers go there.
Yeah.
So, unless you want to call Chase Purdy RCR-affiliated now, but I don't really think so. But yeah, I like that move for William Byron. Maybe we'll see another big hat if he gets a win over there.
They need the big hats. They need to keep the big hats going.
Did you see that they are selling them on Hendrick's
website?
Yeah,
it's like $125.
$125. You can get your own big hat.
It's crazy.
Right now they're selling the Raptor version of it.
Well, I know they had the one from Las Vegas up too.
Yeah, I think that's the Raptor one.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's the one I'm looking at.
Yeah, yeah, the one you're looking at. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
And then I bet you the Valvoline one from Phoenix is going to be up pretty soon. So
probably.
Pretty cool. Now, this is just some fun news about IndyCar and NASCAR. Not just Connor Daly's going to be racing at COTA. Ed Jones, former driver for Dale Coyne Racing. You might know him as one of the former Indy 500 rookies of the year. He's going to make his first start, I think, in a long time for Young's Motorsports in that number 20 at COTA. Now, Ed Jones, the last time I saw him racing, he ruined Pato Awards championship hopes. And then swiftly was replaced by David Malukas next season.
Yeah.
So exciting for Ed Jones. Excited to see what he does just as an IndyCar fan. But it's just cool to see all these different drivers from around the world coming to NASCAR at COTA. I'm liking it. All right, so that's all the Truck Series news we got. Now let's go Xfinity
You forgot
Series
Chad
news.
Chastain, my guy.
Well, that's Xfinity. That's the Xfinity
Oh, was
series.
that Xfinity?
Yeah, it's going to be the Xfinity Series. Chad Chastain is going to make his debut at Atlanta in the Xfinity Series with DGM Racing. So,
that's why I labeled it Craftsman because DGM. I got that confused.
so Chad Chastain has actually ran in races that we've been at. If you remember, he ran at IRP with Nice Motorsports and a couple other races last season. But Chad Chastain, DGM Racing, they have a big connection with Ross, so that doesn't surprise me. Chad Chastain hasn't really impressed me so far in the car. But hey, maybe it was just the Truck Series. Maybe he can have a little bit more success in the Xfinity Series. And it's not like that DGM number 91 isn't like good equipment. Like DGM is pretty solid equipment, as we've seen with drivers like Kyle Weatherman, Josh Williams. So he's stepping into a good car. So let's hope that Chad can have a good run.
Oh yeah.
Now this one's exciting. IndyCar fans, you guys know this guy. Sage Karam is going to make his debut this season in the Xfinity Series with Alpha Prime in that number 45 at Atlanta. This guy, he will end up probably being full-time in a NASCAR series next season. And I think it'll probably be with Alpha Prime. This guy, he runs well, and now that he's at Atlanta, automatic threat to win.
Yeah. I guess he's running up front for sure.
Oh, he ran. I mean, what did he get last season at Atlanta? 5th, I think that was what he got.
Did he run at Atlanta last year?
Yeah, he did. He ran at least one of the Atlanta races because I remember he got a top 5.
Yeah. Dang.
Hilariously, he actually struggled. Him and Santino actually struggled on the road courses when they ran them.
Well, I know one of them he got.
One of them he got Gregson. He got Gregson. But. Yeah, it's exciting. I love seeing Sage Karam in NASCAR. It's cool. And I've heard recently that he actually might be going to be running in the Indy 500. So
that'd be sick.
That's super sick. All right, Cup Series news, guys. We have some big stories here. Let's start with a little bit of a smaller one. Just a little bit of a smaller one. Jonathan Davenport is going to run for Colleague Racing in the number 13 late model Superman. That's exciting. That's all I gotta say.
Superman.
The late model Superman. That's a heck. They're bringing They said, Colleague Racing said, yoink. We are pulling out all the stops. Kind of reminds me of when Mike Rockefeller came and ran in the. Not Mike Rockefeller. Stuart Friesen came and ran for in the 77 for Spire Motorsports.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot, actually. All right. Next thing. Tyler Reddick, he was on a podcast. I don't know which one, but he was quoted in saying that the Gen 7 is shifting more to the 550 package from the Gen 6 era. Boo. I don't want to see that. And when you're starting to look at it, starting to watch these races, and Jay, I don't know if you were catching vibes from 2019 at Phoenix and at Las Vegas, but I was catching vibes from 2015.
I mean,
at
Las Vegas wasn't that bad though. Like, I don't think Las Vegas was bad.
We'll get into Phoenix, but definitely the worst race of the season so far.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't like Phoenix, but I liked Las Vegas a little more. I'm not gonna say it wasn't like that, but I think Phoenix was probably
Sure, Phoenix had a very exciting ending this weekend, but as we've always liked to say, just because a race has an exciting finish doesn't make it good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Tyler Reddick talking about that, and just if we see those spoilers get as high as they were, literally, guys, like when Jay talked about when he was at Daytona in 2020 or 2021, which year did you go? 2021.
2020.
Yeah, he talked about how the spoilers were as big as his forearm, like just like up.
They weren't that big, but yeah, in exaggeration, yes.
Yeah, like crazy. And so I don't know. Like, I feel like we're getting back to that. So hopefully not, though. Hopefully not. All right, next thing. We got a lot to talk about drivers that are going to be making more starts in NASCAR. First, we got to talk about a legend. Jimmie Johnson is going to run at COTA, and he's also going to run the Coca-Cola 600. Now, Jay, tell the fans which races are specifically on the same weekend that Coca-Cola 600 is.
We have the Monaco GP, we have the Indy 500, and the Coke 600, all on the same weekend. So
now, borderline impossible for a driver to run both Monaco and the Indy 500.
That'd be crazy.
Monaco and the Coke 600, I could see. But
yeah, it's possible.
The Indy 500 and the Coke 600 double has happened. Most recently happened in 2014 with Kurt Busch when he attempted the double, finished 6th in the Indy 500, and then went on to finish, I believe, 37th in the Coke 600 after an electrical issue. Jimmie Johnson, is he teasing the double? Is that what you think we're seeing here? Are we seeing a tease at the double?
I mean, I thought he was done though, because I mean, you have Takuma Sato running the Chip Ganassi car and Indy car, and then you have Kanaan filling in at McLaren, so there's that seat gone too. Mm-hmm. I mean, where else would he really go to run the double?
I would say Ryan Reinbolt, maybe. That would be an option there.
Yeah, but like, I'm not saying they're not capable of winning, but I feel like he'd want a shoe in if he was gonna run the Indy 500. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'd want to for sure ride, like, we're going to win the 500. Like,
yeah.
So
I mean, hey, you never know. Ganassi always brings an extra car to Indy. Since they are running 4 full-time cars this season. Last season they had a 5th seat for Tony Kanaan. You know, and that car actually finished the best besides Marcus Ericsson. So,
what was he, 3rd? Right?
Yeah, he got a podium.
Yeah.
But Jimmy going to be in the Coke 600, maybe attempting the double. Now, we talked about how Jimmy's going to be running at COTA. We got a lot more drivers running at COTA. In previous, we've mentioned that Jordan Taylor is going to be running for COTA, and so is Connor Daly. But 2 more drivers are going to join this superstar lineup in the NASCAR Cup Series at COTA. 2 F1 champions. One we've seen in NASCAR before. One we have not. Kimi Räikkönen is going to return to NASCAR for the Project 91 Trackhouse Racing entry. And a driver that I've been speculating to be making a Cup start for a long time now. Jenson freaking Button is going to be in the Rick Ware Racing number 15. It's not really the Rick Ware Racing number 15. It's the Stewart-Haas Racing 5th car. Which, take it or leave it, Stewart-Haas Racing, B team in NASCAR, championship level team. Jenson Button is going to get a top 20 in that seat if he stays out of trouble. Full sponsorship from Mobil 1. A little disappointing that we are not going to see my main man with the back of his hand, Joey Hand, in that seat because that's where he's been recently.
Or James Davison.
I remember when James Davison was racing in this seat.
Yeah.
But Jenson Button is going to be taking that ride. So, Jay, I just got to know, like, what you're thinking just as an F1 fan. Like,
dude,
how excited are you?
Actually sick. And Jenson Button is supposed to be racing at the Indy GP, too. Or, like,
yeah, he's running 2 more races.
Indy road
Going to be
course.
running at Chicago and a race we're going to be at Indy GP. And I promise you guys, I'm looking at you guys. I will try my hardest to get a Jensen Button interview in July. Like, I will cry. Like, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah, no. It's sick though. It's sick though. I really like it.
Sick. I love it.
Sick.
Friggin' sick.
Friggin' sick,
All right,
dude.
That's all the NASCAR news that we got going on. Like Stacy's mom, Jay. Will you want to go and talk about some IndyCar?
Yeah, we can talk about some IndyCar really quick. Like,
Real quick, like.
Yuri Vips is going to be the stand-in driver for Jack Harvey at the Barber test, which were, I believe, actually today and yesterday, or today and tomorrow. Today and yesterday. And yesterday, sorry. And we're recording this on March 14th, so just so everybody knows. But yeah, so today and yesterday were the test for Barber, and Yuri Vips. Whether you may like him or not, he filled in for Jack Harvey.
And I heard he actually didn't do that bad. So.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. We might see
Jack Harvey, obviously, still recovering from injuries at St. Pete. Still not feeling super well. So good to see that Yuri Vips is now the reserve driver for Rahal Letterman Lanigan. Didn't know that. Mm-hmm. I figured it was Captain Leg, but
that would make sense, you would think.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, well. Screw it. It is what it is. But I think that's all for IndyCar. So.
Yeah. I mean, the only other thing, Josh Pearson's going to be out of a seat for a couple races, and I believe he is being replaced by, what is his name? Josh Pearson is going to be not in the seat as much because... I forget his name.
Toby Pearson,
I think that's his name. Yeah, he's
Toby Sowery. Toby Sowery.
Yeah, he's going to be in that seat for Josh Pearson at a couple races this season. But otherwise, I think that's it.
Yep.
For IndyCar.
All right, get into the formulas.
The formulas.
3.14,
159.265. 4.
All righty. Starting off with some F2. On your screen, you're seeing the start times for each session for F2. We have the Saudi Arabian GP practice for F2, 6:55 to 7:40 a.m. Eastern Friday. Qualifying is 11 to 11:30 a.m. Eastern on Friday. The sprint race is 11:10 to 12 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. And the feature race is 9:35 to 10:40 Eastern on Sunday. And now let's get into some Formula One news. There's not much F3 or Formula E news, so I'm not really going to cover that this week. Helmut Marko says that Red Bull will not sell AlphaTauri. It was always clear that AlphaTauri would stay in-house, says a Red Bull's motorsports consultant.
Call it Toro Rosso again.
No,
it's Toro Rosso.
It's got to be AlphaTauri. It's got to be AlphaTauri.
I like the name AlphaTauri. I'm not going to lie.
It sounds like meaner, in my opinion, than Toro Rosso.
I don't know.
I don't know. But AlphaTauri is an important component for our junior work. And I think all of this speculation of AlphaTauri being sold in the first place just kind of came from like a journalist having some type of mix-up, whoop-de-doo, and making a big deal out of probably nothing that should have been made a big deal out of, basically. So, so there's that. Charles Leclerc says that he has no intentions on leaving Ferrari and would even like to tie his...
Okay.
I'm about to talk to you in a second about this. And would even like to tie his future further with the team. The Monegasque does not want to become a Formula One world champion as soon as... does want to become a Formula One world champion as soon as possible, but he wants to do it with Ferrari. Tristan, what do you think about this? Should Charles Leclerc stay with Ferrari or should he explore other options?
As of right now, the best person who has a chance of winning something with Ferrari is Michelle Yeoh. Because, I mean, like...
Dang.
I'm sorry.
That's crazy.
Leclerc, you got to get out of there. Yeah. We know there's going to be seats probably available at Red Bull pretty soon. Checo's contract, I believe, expires this season. So, I know you probably don't want to be a second driver to Max, but if I'm Charles Leclerc, I'm looking at Mercedes. I'm looking at Red Bull. Might be looking at Aston Martin. We don't know really what's going on with Lance Stroll.
Lance Stroll will be fine. He's not ever going to leave that team. I promise you that.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. But, I mean, you really don't. Because, I mean, if Checo is done at Red Bull, the guy who probably is the number one guy to replace that seat is Leclerc. They'd probably be looking to replace Leclerc. But then if I'm Leclerc and you let that offer slide, that's where Yuki goes. Yuki goes straight to Red Bull, in my opinion.
I can see that.
And then, but if he stays with Ferrari, Charles Leclerc will not be a Formula One champion.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. And
I mean, I could see it down the road, but I don't see it in the near future. Like, it'd be maybe 5 years from now before I see Ferrari getting everything figured out and tied together. Maybe 2026 when the new, like, engine regulations and stuff like that. But
in 2026, you're going to have new teams, like...
Possibly.
You're going to have possibly new entries, new drivers completely. We'll see a completely different grid.
Yeah.
We won't see Checo anymore. We won't see Alonso. Well, Alonso's probably still going to be kicking. Or we're not going to see, like, probably Hamilton, Sainz. We probably won't see these guys anymore. So if I'm Leclerc, I'm counting my days at Ferrari.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he needs to give the Ferrari the big ol' lovebird.
The Daniel Ricciardo.
Yeah,
Gasly.
Yeah. All right.
We said
Now,
the same thing.
Mercedes has given technical director Mike Elliott an ultimatum. A meeting was held in Brackley after the Bahrain GP, which lasted very late into the night. So basically, Mercedes has a very big non-blaming culture. But right now, Mike Elliott's catching a lot of blame because he's the guy that he's
getting blamed from Toto. He's getting blamed from Lewis. He's getting blamed from George. He's getting blamed by freaking everybody.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
So basically, he's basically the guy that came up with the designs of the car and how everything is supposed to work. And like I said, Mercedes has like this big, we don't blame our team. We try to work things out to get together, but he's catching a lot of flack right now. I just want to say that much. And so very interesting, Mike Elliott. Hopefully he gets to keep his job. Because he's definitely done very good work in the past, winning 8 constructors championships in a row. But this new regulations, he's not hit the spot at all.
I mean, it seems like Elliott and other people at Mercedes are not focusing on this season. Like, I mean, obviously we'll see how Jeddah goes, but it seems like they're more focused on like next season or possibly the next season after that. Like, it's...
Yeah, well, they put out a statement. I can't remember exactly what in that statement it all entailed, but I think they're going to give their best to finish as best as they can in the constructors this season. But I think they're really looking at 2024 to, like, really hit the ground running and start moving. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. Mercedes is kind of on the same boat as Ferrari, I want to kind of say right now.
Ferrari.
But it's crazy.
I feel that.
It's crazy.
It's crazy because Red Bull is just so far ahead, and pretty soon it looks like Aston Martin might be passing Mercedes.
Yeah. And possibly Ferrari.
Good. I think I had Aston Martin 6th.
Yeah, but
I also had McLaren 5th. You also had McLaren. I also had McLaren 5th.
Yeah.
So. And I know that's going to be wrong.
I know.
That's great. I also had William Byron not making the playoffs.
And I have him.
Speaking of William Byron.
But yeah. Next thing, Ferrari head aerodynamicist David Sanchez resigns from position. This whole next segment of Motorsports Media for F1 is just Ferrari. I mean, basically the whole segment this far has been Ferrari, but like two things. But yeah, so David Sanchez has resigned from head aerodynamicist. He oversaw the design of the F175 and the SF23, the current car. He will join James Key's technical team at McLaren. Diego Tondi has taken his place at Ferrari. Next thing, Laurent Mekies wants to leave racing director role at Ferrari. The uncertainty at Ferrari continues, and Mekies wants to leave. The Frenchman, formerly from the FIA, actually, he did used to work for the FIA, has offers from Alpine, Liberty Media, and the FIA itself. But his contract with Ferrari would be rather complicated to break without facing a significant penalty with him leaving Ferrari. And then the final thing, I'm sure there was a lot more changes in the Ferrari because I think a lot of this had to do with this man right here, Frederic Vasseur, because he's been given the green light to make his changes how he wants to do at Ferrari. And I think some of the guys he brought in kind of wanted to get rid of these guys like Mekies and Sanchez and bring in their own people anyway. So there might have been a bunch more like exchanges with Ferrari and their team members and such. I just didn't get all of them. I just saw the main ones that I seen. But yeah. Frederic Vasseur has been given the green light to make his changes, and I don't know. We're gonna see how Ferrari turns around.
Fred said it's no longer glasses season.
It's no longer glasses season. And the Saudi Arabian GP schedule: practice 1, 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. Friday. Practice 2, 1 to 2 p.m. Friday. Practice 3, 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. Saturday. Qualifying 1 to 2 p.m. Saturday. And the Saudi Arabian GP, it says 13 p.m., but I meant 1 to 3 p.m. on Sunday. What a typo. Good job, Justin. But
Make sure you guys hit the red button to get full access from Sky Sports.
From Sky Sports. But yeah, you want to go back and let's talk about let's review the United Rentals 500 or 400 man. Or whatever it is.
500. Why was it 500 if we only had 312 laps at a mile-long track?
Good question.
Think about it.
Good question. Maybe 500 kilometers.
God. We don't use that in America.
In America.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So, I guess we should talk about the weekend winners. We only had two. First weekend winner in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. We got to give a round of applause to Sammy Smith. Sammy Smith, man. That is becomes the third youngest winner in Xfinity Series history, behind only Ty Gibbs and Joey Logano. So congratulations to Sammy. I love that his name is Sammy. Yeah, congrats, Sammy. That's a good win. Hendrick was Joe Gibbs Racing was dominant. 1-2 finish between him and his teammate Ryan Truex, who I think if it would have given 2 more laps, Ryan Truex was probably gonna catch him. But
I think he was kind of defending for his teammate. I think once he got around, who was it, Busch and Chandler Smith? I think once he got around them, it was game over. I think he was just defending because I mean he's only a part-time driver anyway, and Sammy Smith's a full-time driver. Might as well get a car in the playoffs now. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, I
think
that.
he was gonna defend regardless.
Speaking of Colleague Racing, Chandler Smith and Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch was wheeling that thing. Save of the year in my opinion so far. He literally is Lightning McQueen. He turned right to turn left and saved that thing. Only fell back to 9th place. He knows something about how to battle with someone, it looks like, on the last lap.
Dang. What
Jenny? Hey, listen. I'm a Trackhouse Racing fan.
In a way, they kind of did the same thing. In a way, they kind of did the same thing. In a way,
yes, it was the same thing. The battle of the ones. But yeah, so congrats, Sammy Smith, on your first career NASCAR Xfinity Series win, and technically your first NASCAR National Series win. So that is awesome for Sammy, seeing as he skipped the Truck Series. And normally I don't like when drivers skip the Truck Series, but Ty Gibbs skipped the Truck Series, won the championship. Sammy Smith skipped the Truck Series. It's doing fine for him. Riley Herbst skipped the Truck Series. Top 5 in points this season. Sure, development was a little bit slower, but starting to see that these drivers are going straight to the Xfinity Series proves to me why some drivers that were very much so hyped up need to just skip the Truck Series in general. Everyone knows who I'm talking about. I don't even have to say it. Yeah. I don't even have to say it.
You don't.
All right, let's talk about the United Rentals 500 guys. This race was boring, but it was okay. I mean, I don't want to say it was boring.
It was a good strategy race, I thought. Like, I was paying attention to the strategy. The strategy was pretty interesting. It kind of got
it's bad when the most interesting part of the race is keeping track of how many laps were in between commercials. In the first 100 laps, guys, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 commercial breaks.
Sounds about like Fox. Sounds about like Fox.
Like 8 commercial breaks in the first 100 laps. That's insanity. One of those was side by side. Sorry. Before the stage 1 caution. Whoa. We didn't even complete a lap in between 2 caution breaks, in between 2 commercial breaks, but just saying. So yeah, that was kind of how that was. Hendrick dominated this race. William Byron won stage 1. Kyle Larson won stage 2. And Kevin Harvick looked like he was going to drive away and win his 10th race at Phoenix as he passed Kyle Larson under green. And then Harrison Burton said, "Let me get my TV time." Blows the tire, spins down. There was a very quick caution by NASCAR. Listen, if Clint Boyer is calling you out on your broadcast for throwing a quick caution, Jay justified it because in our group chat, he said his tire exploded, so it would have been a caution anyway. Yes, it would have been. His tire didn't explode for 10 seconds before that. So there was debris.
There was debris, though. Because they showed it on TV that there was debris on the ground.
Yeah, I don't know. But he spun, and then it was a caution literally less than a split second after that man got sideways. So NASCAR's been getting a little trigger happy with their cautions recently. Need to start being more consistent there, NASCAR. But ruined Kevin Harvick's day. Came all down to a pit road strategy where Larry McReynolds said that if you put 2 tires on your car right now, you're an idiot. All I hear from this is that Larry McReynolds would have lost me this race if I was leading on pit road and he was the crew chief, because all the Hendrick cars took 2, along with, and the first driver to take 4 was Kevin Harvick, who dropped all the way to the 7th position and never recovered. However, one driver that took 4 tires was a threat in the end of this one, and that man was Tyler Reddick, who was battling it out for the lead with 2 guys in particular, one of them being William Byron, the other one being Kyle Larson. Ryan Blaney was in the mix for this win too. All 4 of those drivers coming down the backstretch with 2 to go in the final overtime. It looked like it was going to be Tyler Reddick's race if he was able to go on the inside lane, but it didn't happen. William Byron drives away and wins his 2nd race in a row. Willie B gets that big hat in victory lane. My gosh, I can't believe I didn't put him in the playoffs.
But man, Daniel's not here to gloat about Reddick's finish, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
He would be gloating about Reddick's finish right now.
Let's talk about the top 10 really quick before we talk about a certain other situation.
Okay.
First place, William Byron. Second place, Ryan Blaney. Third place, Tyler Reddick. Fourth place, Kyle Larson. Fifth, Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick has not had a DNF at this track, and in 20 straight races, he has finished in the top 10 at Phoenix. Woo. Sixth place, Christopher Bell. Seventh place, Chase Briscoe. Eighth place, Kyle Busch. Ninth place, Alex Bowman. And 10th place, Josh Berry. That's cool.
That is pretty cool.
I want to highlight a couple guys who got their best finishes of the season. Ryan Preece finishes 12th. Michael McDowell finishes 13th, his best finish of the season so far. And however, you're not hearing me mention a couple of drivers. We're not seeing Daniel Suarez anywhere in here. Not seeing Denny Hamlin or Ross Chastain anywhere near this top 10. Suarez finishes 22nd.
Why they're not in the top 10.
Denny finishes 23rd, and Chastain finishes 24th. Austin Cindric in a Penske car finishes 25th. And Eric Almirola in a Stewart-Haas Racing entry finishes 33rd. He had hit the wall early. And in a Joe Gibbs Racing entry, Ty Gibbs finishes 28th, but he was involved in a crash. So I want to talk about Denny and Chastain. On the final restart, Chastain and Hamlin both running inside the top 10. Hamlin and Chastain had been racing hard pretty much the entire day. And on the final lap, Hamlin goes up the track, hits Chastain into the wall. They both fall back to sub 20 after talking about it on the track. And as we heard on Denny Hamlin's podcast this week, he did say that it was fully intentional. So, Denny Hamlin fan, defend yourself.
Defend myself?
Defend yourself.
Mean, I think
because you know my opinion. I think he should be penalized, like so many drivers before him have been.
Nah. I think Chastain has had this kind of coming for a long time from last season. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you look at it, look at last season. How many times has Chastain, intentionally or not, dumped Denny? How would that not be infuriating a driver? How would you not hold a grudge over that? You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
The thing is, you can't, as Denny Hamlin, just come out and say, yeah, I did it intentionally. I mean, it was kind of telltale.
The last time that we heard the driver say that he did it intentionally, I believe, was when Bubba Wallace said that he spun intentionally somewhere, and then he got a $15,000 penalty.
Texas, I believe.
I think it was at Texas. Yeah.
I think it was Texas. I can't remember. It was Texas.
I can't remember. It was so long ago. But in my opinion, I think you should give him $10,000 fine and give him like a 5-point, 10-point penalty. Nothing too crazy, but I do think he should have a penalty.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think it should be a penalty.
You think it's just one of them racing deals?
Yeah, for real. It is. It's not like he turned someone. I think Gragson should have got a penalty for wrecking Sage Karam at Road America. Bubba definitely should have got a penalty for wrecking Larson at Vegas that time. That stuff like that, yes. But they just walled each other. That's all it came from it. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was intentional or not, they should Kyle Busch get a penalty for walling Chandler Smith?
No, that's a teammate.
No, that's all right. Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So
yeah,
I don't know, but my thing is I don't know. I just think rubbing's racing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mind aggressive driving. I mind when you are an over aggressive driver though.
Aggressive. Be aggressive.
I don't mind aggressive driving, but I don't like over aggressive driving. So
yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all we got to do. All we have to talk about for this weekend at Atlanta. However, I do want to highlight the championship standings right now. Points leader, Alex Bowman. Woo!
He said, woo!
They called me a madman.
Hey, you still got to make it through the playoffs, buddy.
Here's your top 10 in points as in the driver standings. Alex Bowman, Kevin Harvick, Ross Chastain, top 3. Playoff points leader, William Byron in 4th place, followed by Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, and Martin Truex Jr. In my opinion, there's no surprises in the top 10. I guess you could say Harvick being P2 right now is a little high. But it's not surprising, in my opinion, that Alex Bowman is first in points. So,
yeah.
Some other highlights that are in the top, kind of near the bubble in the top 16 in points right now. Austin Cindric in 17th, Corey LaJoie in 18th, especially heading into Atlanta. That's really big for Corey LaJoie. Tyler Reddick jumps all the way from being 32nd in points to 20th in points now. So that's crazy. And then the 3 Stewart-Haas racing cars, Chase Briscoe, Eric Almirola, Ryan Preece, have moved out of the 30s and into the 20s. So they are now 25th, 26th, and 27th. And officially, out of all full-time drivers, Ty Dillon is lowest in points right now. He has less points than Travis Pastrana through 4 races.
Jeez.
And Chase Elliott. So that's what we got going on, guys. Now we got a couple of races we're going to next weekend. We have 3 races at Atlanta, and we have 1 race at Jeddah. So, Jay, you want to go into some predictions on this short Indy Boys hour?
Let's get it. All right, let me throw this over here real quick. But last week we were at Phoenix, as we just talked about, and last week I was the only one to score a point. My Sammy Smith prediction in Xfinity is what got me a point, so I'm very happy about that. But yeah, and Ryan Blaney and Christopher Bell both finished in the top 6 and had a fair chance to win that race, and I'm kind of upset that they didn't.
We all kind of had solid predictions.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, and however, I was pulling for that group pick, man, because like Kevin Harvick's driving away. I'm like, man, we're all about to get 5 points. This is about to be great. Nope.
And I was like, no, I don't want 5 points. I want a point for myself.
Yeah.
Because you said that, you're like, why are you not cheering for the group pick? I said, because I want a point for myself. But yeah, no. That's last week. The point standings now for the Indy Boys prediction. Tristan has 3. I have 2. Daniel has 1. But yeah, where you want to start first this week, Tristan?
Let's go. You know, let's start with Jeddah. Let's start with Jeddah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's start with Daniel's predictions on every one of them. Let's do Daniel's predictions.
So Saudi Arabian GP, guys, this weekend at Jeddah. Daniel's predicting a podium that is very similar to what we have seen recently. Max P1,
all right.
Checo P2, and Charles Leclerc in P3.
Okay. Tristan?
Okay. So, my winner at Jeddah, I'm going to go with Max Verstappen, clearly. P2, this one's a little out there.
Fernando?
I'm going to go Fernando Alonso.
Jeez.
P2.
Okay.
And then P3, I'm going to go his teammate, Lance Stroll. Wow. Yes, I think we're going to see I'm all in on Aston Martin now.
Whoa! I was not expecting that today.
I am all in on Aston Martin. So now I still think Max is going to win. But if Aston Martin can keep up what they've been doing, yes, Jeddah is a very technical track, and we're seeing Lance Stroll obviously with wrist problems, but he's had 2 weeks to heal. I think Lance Stroll gets his first podium in 2 or 3 seasons now. Ever since Bahrain, right? Back when Checo got his maiden victory. I think that was the last time we saw him on podium.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my prediction.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Then after him, I think we see the Ferraris kind of like around like 4th, 5th. I think Checo's going to have to retire from this race. I think we're going to see something go wrong with that Red Bull. But
Okay. I can see it happening. So as well, I have Max finishing first. Second, I have Sergio Perez.
Okay.
And third, I'm going to go with George Russell.
All right, there we go.
I read an article this week, and Toto was explaining how the Mercedes is a very front-ended car and how Jeddah is a very front-ended track for downforce reasons. So I think Mercedes will be a little bit better here. So
listen, I bet you Megan's gonna be cheering for George Russell because that's her guy. We're watching Drive to Survive, and it's like together right now, and it's the do you remember that TikTok trend when it was like every time that Jimmy Garoppolo would show up on screen, and it was the like, when you touch me like this, like that's her every time George Russell pops up.
That's funny. Shoot. But all right, yeah. Let's go ahead. NASCAR now?
Yeah, NASCAR. Let's start trucks.
Daniel.
Daniel is gonna pick Nick Sanchez, and I like that pick.
Okay.
I do like that pick.
I can see it. Tristan.
Personally, we're at Atlanta at a track where anybody could win. And I'm looking at this entry list. I'm thinking, okay, who is a driver that I could see up there getting like sort of like good at this track? And I'm thinking of a guy that did really well at Daytona last time we were here. And that guy was Chase Purdy. So I'm gonna go Chase Purdy in that number 4 truck.
Okay.
And I never picked Chase Purdy. So
Chase must be really pretty this weekend then, huh?
I mean, he's a Purdy boy. It took everything in my power not to pick Zane Smith, though.
Yeah.
Jay. Zane Smith.
Yeah, Zane Smith.
However, Brett Holmes could definitely be someone I could see.
Yeah, I'm going Zane Smith.
Yeah.
All right. Daniel's Xfinity prediction now.
He's going Stone Cold himself.
Oh, Stone Cold Cole Custer.
Yes. Stone Cold Cole.
Stone Cold Cole Custer. Tristan.
Stone Cold. Myself, I'm not going in that direction. I'm looking at guys that are good at super speedways, guys that are good just like in general at these kind of tracks. But I also want to play it safe, Austin Hill.
Austin Hill. You know, this might be a stretch.
How big of a stretch are we talking? Are we talking like
it's not necessarily a big stretch, but like it could be considered a stretch. Like with the Xfinity talent we have right now, with especially the RCR cars showing up, and even the Xfinity cars, we haven't really seen this team kind of in the spotlight in previous seasons as such as last season's. But they have this one driver that's stepping in this week in Atlanta.
Justin Haley.
Yes, sir.
Second time Jay's picked Justin Haley in the Xfinity Series this season.
Yep. Justin Haley. What is Daniel's Cup Series prediction?
So Daniel is going for the Cup Series pick. Joey Logano as his first.
Okay.
His second pick. Stacking them deep, selling them cheap.
He's going with what's it? Corey LaJoy?
The CL7, baby. Corey LaJoy.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a good pick. He's incredible at this track.
Okay.
No matter if it was the old configuration or the new configuration,
He's
Corey
good.
LaJoy is good at Atlanta. So I don't blame him. Solid pick. Not going to be my pick, though, this week. If I think Atlanta, I think Hendrick Motorsports. I think guys who are good on this kind of track. And for the second week in a row, I'm going with Alex Bowman as my first pick.
Okay.
The points leader, he's good here. My second pick, I'm going to go with Brad Keselowski because this guy is on a roll as of recently. He's been qualifying good. He's been running good. Didn't have the finish that he quite deserved last weekend. I'm going BK. BK. Brad Keselowski.
Well, you want to know what's funny? My my predictions for this week kind of took each other out last week.
Ross Chastain and Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, those are my two predictions.
Hey, there you go. Hey, that's a good picks. I'm not going to lie. Hey, Denny Hamlin at a super speedway, Ross Chastain at a super speedway, both great picks. Just
Atlanta
a matter of
super speedway.
who's going to put each other on the wall first
Yeah.
this weekend. Group pick.
Do we want to do... Have we done an F1 group pick yet?
I don't believe we have.
Would you like to do an F1 group pick or no?
F1 group picks are hard because we always have to do one that none of us picked.
That's true. And you picked Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll.
Listen, none of us did pick. You did mention that Mercedes is good at like the front-loading tracks like Jeddah.
Mm-hmm.
There's one Mercedes driver we didn't have in our...
That's true. And there's one Ferrari driver we didn't have as well. So.
That's true. So who do you trust more at Jeddah? Do you trust a guy who's won here or a guy who hasn't finished on podium here?
We're going Carlos Sainz.
Carlos Sainz, okay.
I got faith, but not that much faith.
Shotty got a lisp. She gives good faith. Quoting my boy, Young Gravy.
That's crazy. I've never heard that before. That's crazy.
You haven't heard that line?
No. That's
No,
crazy.
that's a Young Gravy, man. That's a bar. Oh man. All right. Well, those are our predictions for this weekend, guys. Go ahead and leave all of your predictions down below. Always remember that you can check in with our predictions every single week. Go ahead and tune in on Spotify, Apple Podcast if you guys want to listen to our predictions as the races are going on and see who's leading in the point standings. Remember the rules. We only get 1 pick for lower tier series, 2 picks for top tier series, and for F1, we must get the podium correct to get an extra bonus point. So, kind of how this works. If Jay gets his correct podium, right, he gets 3 points and gets an extra point for a correct podium. So, like, it hasn't happened yet, like, ever. So, none of us have gotten that yet. If we hit on a group pick, only happened 1 time before, you get +5 for everybody. However, for this week, Daniel's not going to be part of that group pick because he's not here. So it's just going to be me and Jay hitting that group pick this week. This is why you show up to film, Dan.
This is why you show up to film, Dan.
Daniel's going to be like, why do you guys get 5 points? Why am I down? And I'm going to be like, because you didn't show up. And then he'll be like, bro, give me 5 points. And I'll probably do it. Fine. But yeah, guys, that's predictions.
All right. Want to close it out?
I'd love to.
All right. Let's get into it.
Friendly reminder, everybody, that it's only 8:30 and Blaze Pizza doesn't close till 10. So go out and get yours. Because, man, it's going to be a great rest of your Pi Day. Enjoy your weekend of racing. If you've loved listening to me and Jay talk all about racing because of how much we love each other and how much we love racing, go ahead and give us a subscribe. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts. Share the podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok at Indy Boys Podcasts. Also follow us on all of our personal social medias. Mine's Tristan Grider _. Jay's is Jay Confirmed or Confirmed Jay. Signing off for the beautiful poofy-haired boy himself, as made fun of on the IndyCar memes page. My name is Tristan Grider. Have a good one.
Hey.
Listen,
Yeah.
I got a martial arts tournament this weekend. I'm gonna go kick some people in the head. Have a good one, guys. Peace.